Peace, love, and centeredness. Knowledge applied leads to wisdom born out of action. The reason I say this is that Christ consciousness, heart energy, the middle narrow path, it leads us to a place of knowing. And the reason it leads us to knowing is because we are now operating via feeling. Now, what we find, say, online, on Facebook, etc., is artificial behaviour. Why is it artificial? For us to think of someone in a negative fashion, instantly. This is what has been put into place. It keeps us divided. What happens is we're in a state of confusion. So to think of somebody in a negative fashion, to think of them doing something toxic or negative without physically seeing them deliberately doing that, is artificial behavior, because you are connected. You are connected to them, right? Even though you are individuated, And in actual fact, our natural state is one born out of bliss and love, So we are in confusion when we are not in that state. So what happens is, because we are not in that state, by default, automatically, you have a shadow, right? In matter, this is how it works. So what happened by default is that you will automatically see others in the same light as your shadow. That is what will happen, because you are not in touch with your higher senses, and you are not in touch with your true higher emotions. The true higher emotional state is governed by the heart. So we do not want to do anything that ruins this tranquil state. We don't want to do anything that ruins it. Now, this is the true human state, because the true human being is a Homo sapien, right? Now, Homo sapien means wise. It means wise man, wise woman. That's what Homo sapien means, wise. Now, the H is always going to be associated with the humanoid. And the reason that the H is going to be associated with the humanoid is because the H is the 8, and the 8 contains perfect balance within it, and it also contains rebirth, resurrection, rejuvenation. Now that to have that, you have pain and gain, heaven and hell. To have those, you can also gain through your pain, as well. So if we were looking at, say, something like karmic debts, or basically if you are looking to grow your magnetism, then you would do good deeds, because this is growing your cape. It's growing your magnetism. I just started this, the YouTube channel. I've just reinvented it. I'm going to be doing all of this mentally, practically, just everything. Your magnetic field is like a bank account. It's like a bank account. You have to continually build it. That is what it is. If you don't build it, it will just go the other way. But there is, like I say, this loop is just continuous. It will not die. You will not ever. All that will happen is you will just go into whatever the state that you match. So whatever you put out will match you in your field. And this is why people project from their shadow, because what's been happening, we've not been working on growing our magnetism, our natural bank account, currency, moving forward. What is currency? Currency is flow. It is very vital. It is vital that we access the current, this flow here, And to access this flow, you see, we have this three-way. This is electricity is a hybrid. Now we have this three-way system. This is how you measure electricity, right? Now this three-way system, is not a two-way system. It's a three-way system. But in order for it to become a three-way system, we have to learn to crystallize our matter, right? So what happens is here. yeah, is that you have to create a flow of currency. Current. See, this is why current, it contains double nine. Current, I do a lot of posts on it, and the current is 9, and the ohm is also 9. The occult numerology that I use spells out lots and lots of truth, and that is why I'm using it, because it is the language of our creating mother and father, who are now speaking to us directly. Not speaking to us directly, they've always spoken to us, but due to the wave effect, we couldn't hear it. Yeah, because we wanted to learn what it would be like to be fallen, and to know good, and to also know evil. We also wanted to know what it would be like to walk around as the 8, which is the human. Yeah, this is how it is. And then we are returning, yeah, RE, which is the 5 and the 9, which we will go through on the bottom of here, returning, yeah, back to causality, yeah, which is returning back to our supreme state. So we have to be able to create an internal and external flow. How do we do that? We create a flow like this. Yeah, you can see I always teach this a lot. Whilst I'm teaching, I'm learning. This is what we're doing, right? So now this is this heart space here. Now, the true human doesn't want to do anything that is going to affect your tranquility, because it is affecting your magnetism. So you don't want to live a lie or be involved in any lies. So it's not. Well, I had an incident myself recently where someone was doing this trolling thing that they do, and they like to speak to you like they know you. It's artificial behavior, and it is designed to create division, so that when we get anywhere, we knock it. When we are moving forward, what we do is we bring ourselves backwards. Yeah, because we reflect upon what we see outside of ourselves. The others that we see, they are also connected to us at the same time. Yeah, they are connected to us, right? And they have the same higher emotions, or they have the same lower emotions. When they're tuned into this heart space, when we're tuned into this sensitive heart space here, we're not looking to do anything that disrupts that. So we are always looking to operate within the higher emotional state. Energy can become so much that we are not affected by our external state of being. So the law of nature is the law of love, which resides within the heart. And this was encoded in religion as well, but they obviously messed about with it in order so that it could be used in order to as a binding controlling mechanism instead. So this flow here all must be made to flow. So waters, yeah. So internal waters. So your urine contains your taurine. Your taurine boosts your sex drive. It boosts your sex drive, but it also triggers your electrical signaling within the brain at the same time as well as doing that. Whilst it's doing that, it also supercharges the heart while it is doing that. Yeah. So what happens is here, when one was excreting these waters here, there is no waste. You are creating a flow and a loop. Yeah. Here, when you go back round. Yeah. This is what's happening. And then this is the same thing as what the plasma does. This is what a magnetic field does. Yeah. This is what it does. It's constantly reciprocating itself, self-replicating its energy. And this is how this place works. So we are going to learn about where we are through learning the depths of the self, which is as within, so without. Yeah. So that is what is happening on here. So to flow would be also to let go. To let go. Yeah. of that which is, you will have heard this a lot, that which is not serving us. So so on and so forth. Right. So anything that is going to create, there is another word called bust a nut. The word bust, yeah. The word bust, yeah, actually comes from it means to burn, scorch, yeah. Funeral corpses, to burn them. That's what bust a nut means. So what happens is, when energy is here, yeah, when one busts a nut, you are now burning and scorching, yeah, your own magnetism. That's how it works. And that's why you have this, the post tries. I'm not going to pronounce it because it's a very long word, right? But there is something called post tries, Tricites, I believe it is, but I can send it to you. I've done a post on it, and that is over nearly 50% of people, yeah, actually have suffered at some point with sadness from on ejaculation, yeah. They suffer with sadness. So what we are looking to do, by creating this flow, as you create this flow, it creates a boom, boom. What that does is it increases your energy, your energetic state through your waters. Yeah. This is what is happening. Yeah. When we are constantly, yeah, letting things go. Most things you can let them go. Yeah. Even see, when you are hampered by the time, yeah, when you are hampered by what is happening with the time, yeah, then you are creating stagnation within your field. The emotions and everything are all connected to your magnetism. They're all fully connected to it. Yeah, it's the way in which that it works. Now here, you see, what happens is you have hydrogen. The way that this field works, yeah, it's working in a three-way system, because you see, dielectricity, in terms of this field is dielectric, yeah, which means that it has more than one operation, yeah, and at the same time, what's happening is we also have this inertia. There's this is an inertia here, yeah, which is like a rest, a stillness, yeah. Now you have a convergence going on here, and then we have this divergence going on here. So you see, you have the convergence here, yeah, is symbolized by this blue, this divine blue, yeah. This is a light. Which is your light, your lives, your blues. Your blue elements are life-saving, yeah. This is where we get the dualism coming in from, because it's the movement of magnetism. It's the movement of the plasma, yeah. So what happens is here you have high, yeah, and these are your divine blues, yeah. So your blues to the sky. This is you see, you're rising up now. You're rising up to the heavens, yeah. This is your 8 again, right? And so you have your hydrogen here, yeah, and that is symbolized. Hydrogen in occult numerology, hydrogen is 6. 6 is F. F is feminine. F, feminine. Yeah. So this is up here, yeah. And then as this field, this energy converges outwards here, it then drops down here, and it diverges. This is oxygen, and so this is promoting life, yeah. This is promoting life here, and then on the bottom here, both of these they still generate life. They have the oxygen here, yeah, yeah, which accelerates, which can accelerate the death process of matter, so that it can be renewed and recycled again, yeah. Oxidation also provides a fuel, which we will have a look at, which we will see. Right now here, yeah, you see we have high and low. I'm going to show in this now, that this transverse wave effect, because it's an effect creating dualism, it's creating this loggerheads here, yeah, because we are unaware, so it's creating this loggerheads. The blue is being pitted against red. That is the issue. That is the issue, yeah, and that's what causes this dualism in the mind. Oh, he's against me. Oh, they're doing something wrong against me. They're after. No, that's not what is. That isn't what is actually happening. Yeah, the controllers that are set in place here are merely there to serve a purpose. Yeah, that is what you need to look at. Right, everybody else that is here. Yeah, the human being. Apart from the human in lower animal intellect, anybody that is speaking about anything conscious, yeah, generally, yeah, they have positive intent, right? That is most human beings, right, want to be happy. That is what they want. Most human beings they just want to be happy, right? But they don't know how to do it, which is why we teach this, right? So what we have here is this field. Now, it creates a transverse wave effect, as we're saying. But in reality, really, yeah, it is an illusion. All is one. How is that? Right. High and low are both 5. You and me, must access the 5th element. We move through the elements. You have to move through the elements to access the 5th element. To do that, we have to be able to create a flow, because you need to create this flow initially. Yeah, has to be created through your stillness. Is the best way to start this flow. Yeah. This flow has to be created. Once the flow gets created, yeah, we then become less dense, and we're able to rise out of body sensation, which is your dense matter, which is dense matter here. See, dense matter here, it wants to die. Dense matter here, yeah, right, yeah. So that is the way it works, and then we come out of body sensation once we become lighter. Once we become lighter, we get some light, and then it moves us into our waters, which is our emotions. Yeah. Once it moves into our waters, that is when we must be able to become like water and create a current. Yeah. Create a current. Yeah. As within, so without. By operating stillness. So bust the nut is connected to anger. When you get angry, you disrupt this flow. You disrupt this flow, and then your acidity rises. Yeah. So with something like the anger, yeah, we have to let it go, and then only get angry about the right things. Yeah. I love truth. I love truth. When people call me a liar, I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. So if anyone calls me a liar, then I have to let them know that isn't the case, right? And that is a fire. That is a fire that we need. Yeah. So we have to be able to use this fire here. Yeah. Yeah. And we have to be able to use this fire, and we have to be able to use this water. Yeah. Your passivity. Yeah. Passiveness. Nobleness. We have to be able to use the two of them. Otherwise, you become imbalanced, and then when we become imbalanced, we become controllable and become a slave. Yeah, a true human being is triumphant and powerful. Yeah, bit like Maleficent, who plays the part of Lilith in the film. Now, why do I say that? In the film Maleficent, they use this symbol, which is phi. Why? Because you see, the high and the low are both 5. This is I'm speaking to the language now of a correct mother and father. The high and the low are both 5. Yeah. 5 plus 5 will give you 1 plus 0. There is no such thing as 10. 1 plus 0, yeah, is our mother and father. Yeah. Masculine and feminine. Yep. When we put those together, you get this phi symbol here. Now, the oxygen molecule, the water molecule, yeah, H2O, yeah, has the perfect proportionality and perfect incommensurability because it is coming from our creator mother and father, which is this field, yeah, and it contains phi within the 9, and your 9 is your father, which drops down. Can you see? This is why it drops down here. The 9 goes drops down here, and then you see the 6. The 6 goes because it's going upwards. It's converging. Look, one's converging and one's diverging. It's all there. It's all encased within the number. Yeah. And in order to access the, you see the womb of creation. Yeah. Here, you get a hyperboloid, which is the masculine, and then this circle is the feminine. To go through her womb is counter space. Yeah. To go through her womb leads to counter space. You go through her womb, and then that will lead you to the hyperboloid. And the hyperboloid, going outside of that hyperboloid, that takes you outside of this realm. I'm being totally serious. That is how this place works to an extent. So here, this is what you have. You always have. You're having 1 and 0, 0 and 1, which is spirit, soul, sound, salvation, sanctuary. Yeah, and that is the way in which that this works. So you see here, it is always going to be about a heat. So the heavenly fire of the heart here, this heat here. Yeah. When I start the video, it's the charge implosion for the breathing. The breathing is an application. It's an app. It's a breathing application. Yeah. That sets off this charge implosion, which sets off this fire that goes running all the way through my blood. And what that does is it upgrades my state of being. Now, but at the moment here, we are here. See here, we are. This is where you are at the minute. You've come from here. This is fire. This is fire, and then this is what I was saying. I was saying earlier. I was saying about how all is one. Yeah, and really it's an illusion. I'll tell you how. The head here of this lady is fire, and the feet here is water. Yeah? The head is fire and the feet is water, which is the opposite way round. Yeah, deliberately. That is how it works. And then so when you come to the center point here, when you come to this point here of the body here, this is where you are now. We are in the Scorpio. Now, fire represents transformation. When fire and water come together, it creates transformation. It creates magic. And in this moment, this is what you can do. You can crystallize your matter, because spirit and matter are now closer together as the sun is dying. Sam means sun. So the Samhain is sun dying. Yeah? And then what happens is when we do that, when they come together, you bring the 69 together, and that creates this perfect loop. So this is reflecting on our sexual desires. Yeah, reflecting on our sexual desires. So that will bring me on to this next slide. But before I do that, that is why we have to crystallize our matter. As we access that water, as we move our state, as we create this flow state within, internally, yeah, which I'm going to be speaking and showing practically and all sorts a lot, because it's anything that I teach, it's already been actioned. I'm actioning it. It's not just saying it. I'm actually doing it, right? And that's the most important thing as far as that's concerned. So the high and the low are the same. They are both 5. The occult numerology within them states that. Yeah, this center point, the center is this heart. Here, heart energy. Yeah, Christ consciousness. But it's so the law of love is accessed through your state of being. It isn't internally. Yeah. So everything that you consume with all of your senses matters deeply, because you have 5 senses and you need to be able to access the other 7 senses. Right. So here. Right. I always talk about, as we teach and learn, we do this together. Right. The stillness. So here it'll state stillness within. The stillness within stillness is not the true stillness. The true stillness is stillness within motion. Within motion. Yeah. The other 7 senses, yeah, are activated by creating this ultra clear plasma state. Yeah, where your internals can now communicate clearly. It's not concentrating on the riotous ruckus that has been created by our inability to now action a slower, stiller state, a flow state. Yeah. So, for example, sex senses increase in a clear plasma state, in a clear sensitive state. Yeah. Yeah. But so what that would mean is, so what happens is when you access these, when you become more sensitive, which is what happens when we move away from the effects. Yeah. When we become more sensitive, for example, I can see somebody who has a poor diet. I can sense that they have a poor diet, because what happens is when I look at them certain times, they can actually bring up the emotion of hunger. Yeah. So I can sense through their field, yeah, that they are eating a lot of toxicity. You can sense that, yeah. When you are having sex, when we're having sex, in a more sensitive, ultra sensitive state of being, yeah, you can feel it much more. When you drink a juice, so for example, I live mostly on fruits, yeah. I live mostly on fruits. Why do I live mostly on fruits? Because I'm constantly eliminating, making sure rust doesn't get me, right? So when I'm mostly eating those fruits, yeah, what happens is, because I operate this stillness, the longer I wait, if I go to sleep at 10 o'clock of an evening, and I do not consume anything at all until 5-6 o'clock the next day, bow and arrow effect. Absolutely fantastic. My mitochondria is absolutely dancing by then, and I am absolutely firing. Energy expenditure has actually gone flying through the roof. But guess what? I get rewarded on top of that when I go to drink my juice, which is mangoes, blueberries, all that sort of stuff. But it contains hemp in it, which contains selenium in it. Selenium, which gives off a natural super antioxidant, glutathione. But you cannot get this selenium that you say it's in certain meats and stuff, but you're not going to get it because you can't. It's too hard to break down. Yeah, it's really hard to break down. So what happens is, when I drink that drink, our mother, she now rewards me. How does she reward me? Because my senses have been heightened now, because I've actioned her stillness. Yeah, all is a paradox, and you will be rewarded by working with this pain and gain. It's the way she's worked. She's mischievous. She's not thinking how we think, and that is why you are seeing lots of rain now. So when I go and drink this, drink, it now tastes super refreshing and amazing to me. Amazing, because my senses have become heightened. There is also something called CPR, yeah, sensory, right, which you have this salaphic phase, right, which your tongue turns energy, your tongue turns food into plasma, right. Now you have this CPR sensory, which means you're able to program your consciousness, right. You're able to program yourself and your brain to go for things, for certain foods. Yeah, we are the ones that program that, because we are co-creators, masters of our own reality. We just don't realize it. So we can program this, our CPR sensory. Yeah, we program it by the things that we go for. Yeah, this is the way that it works, right? Also, we in this reality, what happens is, we subconsciously we go by what we see happening, what nature shows us, what our external shows us. So if you see somebody that's eating, like we've been in the past, this is what's happened. When we've seen people eating McDonald's and so on and so forth, as a child, I want one of them because they've got one, right? So then what happens is we actually start to follow the pattern. It's called unconscious. We get on what we call unconscious competence, yeah, and we start to actually copy what we're seeing externally. So when we see people throwing, I remember in the 80s, etc., there used to be loads of rubbish all over the floor, and that was because we used to see people throwing rubbish. So other people used to do it, waste, creating more waste, making more waste. Yeah. Now I work with the plasma, working with the age plasma, and working with with life. What it does is it's constantly waste eliminating. Yeah. So it means that we naturally, by default, I now start to waste eliminate at the same time also, because that is what has been reflected back to me. That is what I am seeing in my external reality. Yeah. And that is how we work through our unconscious competence. Yeah, that's how it goes. So this motion here. So when one is having sex, what you see, we've been looking at it all the wrong way. The prong, right? When you are doing that application of breathing, through the application of the breath, you can actually control your orgasm. But how are you controlling it? You are controlling it because you've already accessed this ultra sensitive state. So you are already having a heart orgasm through this. This is the longitudinal pulse wave, the longitudinal pulse. Poof. As this pulse emanates, as this pulse comes out, right, what happens is the effect of that pulse creates the effect of that pulse as the pulse is coming from counter space. The pulse is inertia. Yeah, the loss of that inertia, yeah, what that does is it creates this flow of magnetism, and that's how you get this field. Yeah, so this inertia is our father, and then this flow, he penetrates and he creates the release of that is the magnetism, and the magnetism is our mother. She is the womb of creation. Yeah, that is the way that is actually working. And then what that is doing is giving the illusion of good, bad, high, low, high, low. Yeah, the high, low that we've been speaking about, and that's why as a Scorpio. The scorpion is also represented by the eagle, because as the scorpion matures and they merge the fire and water, they're now able to become spiritual and actually are able to see more. Yeah, they have to see more, and that is why the Scorpio actually do far better independently when they're on their own. Yeah, that is how they are. But the love making is very passionate. Yeah, these people will do all sorts when they're having sex. They're very adventurous and so on and so forth. But if you can use that fire, that through the Mars 9, if you can use that fire through your ultra sensitivity, yeah. Remember, I already stated you don't want to add negativity to your conscience. So you don't want to be having lots of lustful activities. So even when you are making your sex, you are governed by your 0 point. It's governing you through your feelings, which is across your whole of your avatar. Yeah. So when you are love making, because you're now love making, you are not having just sex now. You have this with your partner. If you can get your partner to start adapting some of these initiate practices as well, then you can ascend drastically. I'm so grateful that is what I'm able to be doing that. Yeah. So when you are breathing, when the orgasm arrives, once you are able to action the breathing correctly, which I'll be teaching how to do the correct breathing, there is 0.5 hydrogen gas hydrogen gas surrounding, yeah, when you do the correct breathing, yeah, you can actually transmute and transform your lower orgasm into a far superior orgasm. And what also happens because you have created, yeah, through the phosphorus, through the taurine, and so on and so forth, yeah, you have increased your energy. You are increasing your testosterone as a man, etc., and as a woman. You're increasing your energy, so you are increasing your sex drive. You've increased your sex drive here now, yeah, and you've been doing this by creating a flow of energy, yeah. This is what has been happening, and then when you are in the motion of lovemaking, you action your stillness by not releasing, and you apply the breathing, the breath techniques. And what does that do? It gives you longevity in what you are doing, yeah, in the act. Which, what does that do? It creates more orgasmic flow between the couple. If both of you are in a plasma state, then you both become more sensitive, and you are both increase in your pleasure. And what happens is your magnetism between the two of you can expand drastically, and then going forward, we can then we can start to master reality as a couple, because as the man and the woman come together, yeah, as the masculine and feminine comes together, yeah, what happens is, yeah, you are merging this fire and water, which is enabling you then to crystallize your matter. And then what happens is the two of them are able to exit this realm, yeah. They're able to exit this realm, access their true state of being, and they are able to draw down whatever it is they want into this physical realm. Yeah, and that's something that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis through this self, through my own actual self, through my own workings, my own metaphysical practices. Yeah, so that's how this slide is was just being broken down. Yeah, so you see here the high and the low together is 5 and 5, 5 and 5. 5 and 5 gives us 1 plus 0, gives us our creating mother and father. Our creating mother and father together, they create phi, which is in the back of your head, which is also in your thumb, which creates this realm, which is who you are. So now what I'm going to do is going to go over onto the board, and that's when we will look at, you see here again with the fire. Yeah, it is always going to be a fire. That fire lifts one, and through lifting, through being able to create the correct flow, yeah, as we always teach, is the Leiden thrust. The Leiden thrust, yeah, is you altering and raising your matter state, yeah, altering and raising your matter state. And we'll state I teach a lot. I talk a lot and raise awareness a lot about plasma for a long while now. Now, that is why it is where I reside here. I've been saying for a long while now that it's going to start raining, it's going to get the floods, blah, 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 blah. A lot of the truth that we've known about over the years was all a distraction. I'm sorry. It was all a distraction because you are surrounded by plasma, and it's heating up, yeah? And what plasma does, as I was just talking about the Leiden thrust, yeah? So water, what did water do? Creates steam. Yeah, steam creates clouds. Clouds create lightning. Lightning is plasma. So you see how you're moving up the states, yeah? So plasma creates water. And where we reside here now, in the UK, you are seeing floods and nothing but water. And this is because we are resetting, and this realm, we have this truth is coming from this realm. So it's creating mother and creating fathers. We are the same as them in quality but not quantity. Their upgrade and transformation and transmutation, yeah, is also ours. And that is what you see this hyperboloid here, yeah, which is your phi here, yeah. This hyperboloid also contains the 7 meridians that you also had within also. So peace, love and sentiments. We'll see you in the next one.